Scotland. I'm Scottish. I like Scotland.
Well then, it's a pleasure.
Cheers. Is that what you do? Yeah? Whoa, 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 whoa! Look at my fingers work. Wow.
See, you can act. Now we're getting it.
Scotch, I'm sorry I had to kick you during the middle of that, but
Didn't realize how loud the crowd in this room had got. My apologies.
no, that's no problem at all. I feel bad for having to, for doing it.
I swear I've heard him on the radio.
Who?
On a local police report, perhaps.
Scotch, what do you, are you on the radio? Is that a...
No, he's got a radio voice, though.
Oh, sure.
Radio voice.
I'm afraid I am an
with
actor.
you. I swear I've heard you on something.
Well, I give my voice to various robots and things. You might have heard me if you ever called up various people.
But this
It'd be
is
crazy
disgusting.
if we were all dancing when he came in.
It's intimidating enough for poor people.
Let's all stare silently. This is much better.
God, virtual
But I'm
nerds.
not seeing any hands. Why is this one pointing like a finger?
If you press down on the trigger, it can do different
I
finger
see.
animations.
We've got to fix Jeffrey's face. His face, eyes, and head. At which point we can look at him.
Like you. Okay, good.
Well, hello, everybody. We are here this afternoon with Jeffrey Combs from many, many film and television shows, but specifically for this event, Star Trek. We're going to talk to him about his experiences on the shows. Jeffrey, my first question, of course, is Star Trek is arguably one of the most well-known franchises in the world, in the universe, I guess we can say. How was it when you got the call to actually be part of that universe?
Well, it's not quite that simple. You know, I seem to recall that I auditioned for Deep Space Nine a couple of times and didn't get the job. And it was just a winner. It was just a, it was just a guest star. And it wasn't a recurring role at all. That character never came back. But it kind of hello, there's somebody dancing in the...
Welcome aboard Zilt.
In the air. How about just taking focus? Okay, very good. But it allowed me to get sort of connected with everybody, and I was really lucky that I met with Rene Auberjonois, who I had done theater with, and he was getting ready to direct the episode and suggested me for Brunt.
Okay,
And that sort of was the beginning of everything for me. I never had to audition for a Star Trek thing again.
And I'll keep steady.
And Weyoun came along, and so that's good. Anybody have a... Go ahead.
Well, how
You, go ahead.
Doing all of those characters on Star Trek, how would...
First of all, the production value in Star Trek is pretty darn amazing. Highest level of skill and artistry that you can imagine in every department: makeup, wardrobe, props. So there's really nothing like that kind of support system around you. Something like Robot Jacks, that's what you bring up. Well, that was just sort of a cameo, and to tell you the truth, I said yes to that because Robot Jacks was shot in Italy,
Right.
in Rome. And so my girlfriend at the time, who's now been my wife for over 30 years, we both went to Italy. And I worked one day on that movie, fairly forgettable in the movie, not really pivotal. And then we enjoyed Rome.
Did that help make her your wife?
It locked the deal in.
So it was worth it.
So it was worth it, yeah.
Awesome. Are there any questions in the audience?
Yeah.
Anybody?
I have a question.
Anybody?
Okay. You?
Is that me?
Forward, love.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
over here.
Someone's
this is your
jumping up
first
and down
time-
with wings over there. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, I'd just like to say it's your character that saved Earth and the future of the Federation, and we should all be grateful for you for that.
Which character was that?
Yeah.
The Andorran.
Oh, Shran. Yeah, Shran came.
Without him, everything would be lost.
Yeah, we came to the rescue. I owed
We
him.
really did. Yeah,
I owed him a favor. Yeah,
I just wanted to know, this is your first time in VR perhaps, but I'd
it
like to
is.
know from all the actors if they can see this as a future platform for them to act in, because you can move and you can emote and various technologies will make it even better in the future, but can you see yourself acting in
I'm trying to envision this world and acting. You know, I started in the theater, and theater was completely, you know, there's something very organic about theater. It is a live and real person. I'm just fascinated with this world because with this sort of thing on my face, I'm not sure how I could adequately emote. In fact, I don't even know what I look like right now. What do I look like?
You look very handsome, sir.
What am I dressed in?
Well, you're wearing a Roddenberry t-shirt and jeans and a pair of mules on your feet.
Got some ripped jeans too. You're very stylish.
Wait. Oh, I see.
But you could have an avatar that looked exactly like you made for yourself and being here. And
Oh,
be
I
anything
see.
you want to, really.
I see what it is. I see what I'm doing. Okay, I got it.
One day,
Who
the
would
motion
you-
capture
eye
might be able
tracking?
to actually, eye track and facial tracking. Might be able to map your face better.
Be able to map my face. Do I have many expressions when I'm talking, or do
Well,
you
when
just kind
your
of see
voice
me
emo-
looking?
Yeah, your voice creates emotions in your face. So, like, if you're talking enthusiastically, you'll smile.
Oh, and if I talk
You'll look frowny if you look
Oh.
slow.
You got like a good grimace.
Well, that's
on
pretty
your
good. Well,
face.
you're a good group of people. Where are you all from?
I'm from UK.
Nice. And that's it, huh?
I told them to be quiet, so.
No. Oh, okay. Well, they'll tell me one at a time, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Canada.
yes. Canada, nice.
Germany.
Germany, yes.
Germany.
Nice, Germany.
Scotland.
What'd you say, Scandinavia?
Yeah, Denmark in
Nice.
Scandinavia.
I love it. I've been to all these places. It's great.
Netherlands.
Netherlands, yes.
Got a couple of Brits in here who are being modest.
Okay, I just got back from Bulgaria, so
Belgium.
Belgium, very good.
Hey.
Yes, the angel with the dark wings is trying to get my attention.
I have a question.
Yes.
Mark here, Planet Earth.
Nice.
Has anything ever is there anything crazy that ever happened on the set that we really don't know about that we would want to know about? Something off the, something, off the record kind of thing?
I don't even know what to say about that. There's always interesting things that happen, but there's no secrets told. Nothing that you would imagine. It's like any workplace. Everybody is pretty much focused on getting the job done. We try to keep everything relaxed, but at the same time focused. And in the film industry, time is money, literally, and so there's no time to delay. It's getting the next shot, setting up for the next shot, preparing for the next shot. So it's not really a playground particularly. It's work, just like anything else. It's good, fun work, but it is still work.
Jeff, earlier,
Thank you.
Go ahead. Jeff, earlier you talked about emoting and sort of what that means for you as an actor. You've also played several characters with advanced prosthetics. I'm thinking of Krem, being a Ferengi. How does that affect your acting?
Actually, to me, it helps with acting. It informs your choices. Think of what you all are doing right now. You are all choosing to convey a aspect of your personality through an avatar. And I put it to you that prosthetic makeup is just a very intense, literal application of that onto the body. When you go to a costume party, you feel differently. When you cosplay, you feel differently. When you
There's
wear
all
a
stuff
different
you
kind
can
of
say on your
shape,
course, Adam.
you feel different.
You can say, well, as I said, as I heard from Jeffrey Coombs the other day.
In a runner, as opposed to cowboy boots. You walk differently and carry yourself differently. So, wardrobe and what you see in the mirror after they're done with the makeup really immediately, instinctually allows you as an actor to be confident in making certain choices that are in harmony with the visual. And that's sort of the way we approach it. Yes, lady with the magic halo ring.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. Speaking on that point, which character was your favorite to play?
Well, I get this question a lot, and my answer would be that I don't have a favorite, that I see them as, if you're a parent, how many of you have children? No, okay, well.
Not that we know
Okay,
of.
well, if you did have children and someone said to you, which one's your favorite?
Thomas.
You would have a very hard time picking one.
Yeah,
And
mine
that's
is hard.
Depending on the children, I guess.
well, it depends on the children, but you love them all.
Can I say which one was your most memorable, maybe?
Well, they're each memorable in their own way. I'm not trying to be evasive here. Well, Brunt is memorable because it was the very first recurring role that I played, and I got to be in the Ferengi world. Weyoun was a completely new creation for me to sort of flesh out and bring to life. So that meant a lot to me. I never imagined when I first did Weyoun that it would blossom into so many episodes. And then when they asked me to do Shran, that was another highlight for me because I knew the Andorians from the original series. And so it meant so much to me that they asked me to help bring them to new life. So they're all so special to me in different ways. So and some are more fun to play than others. Okay, I mean, Ferengis are fun because usually you're working with other Ferengis, and there's nothing more fun than a group of Ferengis. A lot of laughs. There's a lot of laughs, so that's good. But I really like Shran, to be able to play someone with some sort of depth there. Hard to trust people, but evolves into being able to do that. I kind of like that side of progression. Someone with trust issues that can maybe get past that. So I liked all of that.
That was a beautiful answer. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I have a question regarding the upcoming Picard series. Any chance that you might have a role in that or plan to do a role?
Well, if there's a chance, it's really not up to me. I don't really follow it very much, but it seems to be somewhat next gen centric. They're bringing back characters from next gen, and not so much platforms that I was in, like Deep Space Nine or Enterprise. So I don't know what the likelihood. It's their philosophy. It's kind of like actors are waiting to be asked to dance. We don't decide. It's not up to me to say, hey, I'm going to be on Picard. It's really, it's not my choice. Okay, you have to be approached, and that's up to them. So it would be cool, but it's not my.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll make that decision.
Yeah, it's there. It's up to them. I don't even think about it. So.
Have you ever had a rematch with Scott Bakula? When you lost
Bakula.
your ear?
Bakula.
Bakula. Okay.
Have I ever had a rematch with him?
Yeah.
Well, I think after that my antenna did grow back. So that's the good thing. They grow
Take that,
back.
Scott Bakula.
They grow back. We know that about the Andorians, okay? So I love Scott. Scott's a tremendous guy, and yeah, okay. Coming a little close, and then all right, now we're going over there.
And a sneak peek.
That's all right. So,
were you a fan of Star Trek before you got onto the show?
Yes, I'm old enough to have viewed the original series on TV when I was a kid, and I thought it opened up a whole new world, and I loved the energy that the actors brought to the material. They were not timid, and they were very brave, and even though sometimes they were in preposterous situations, or maybe the sets were maybe a little cheesy, didn't matter. They still committed fully to the material and the world, and I think that's the reason why Star Trek has evolved into so many, because of the original approach and style. And so I really like their verve. I like the way they leaned into it, and the character development and the relationship between them. So yeah, I was an original series fan way back when.
That's awesome. I feel like the original series is so much the reason why we have things even like this today. You know,
Right.
I think it inspired people to create, and I don't know how you feel, but it's kind of fascinating to me to be standing, and I feel like I'm on the holodeck from Next Gen.
It is really, really remarkable. You know, what they did is dream big in with Star Trek, the original series. It was a kind of I mean, look at us now. In the original series, it was you know, Enterprise, Energize. Well, what do we have all in our pockets right now, right? We have communicators. We just call them, you know, smartphones. But they're communicators, and they can do all kinds of things, and will continue to do all kinds of things. So as far as you look at Deep Space Nine, and everybody is bouncing around like everybody is on a pad. My God, you know, so pretty prescient, pretty it was always a look into the future and what it might be like. So I really appreciate that. That's how we can sort of examine ourselves, by removing the problem that an episode is dealing with. If it were done in a contemporary setting, we might not be able to have the same perspectives as if
Sorry
you
for dominating the
put
night.
it out there a little bit. You have a little more space to realize, oh, I see. This is actually talking about what's going on now. But the only way we can really examine it is if we give it a little distance into the future. That's the essence of sci-fi, I think.
It'll be super interesting since Star Trek is so evergreen, and obviously there will be more of them. What like next year's version of Star Trek will envision the next future to look like, because we're so living in it now, you know.
Yeah, I don't think they imagined that Star Trek, you know, the original series was canceled
right
after 3 seasons, I think. So I don't think they ever imagined that it would explode back and have all of these iterations that it has and will continue to have, I hope. It's amazing.
All these conventions all around the world where you get to meet all these fans.
Yeah, it is amazing. And look at all your avatars here. Look at you all. These two guys are really cool. Hey, what are you? What's that? What's your wardrobe here?
You guys talking to Trash Can?
Which one?
Well, I'm talking to the double-breasted guys here. You got 2 of them.
Kind of steampunk, little mixture of different things.
Love steampunk. I think steampunk's really cool. And then we've got Weird Clown, and we've got
A Gorn over
superheroes.
there.
You
Alligator
got all
Gorn. Yeah, Gorn, straight
amazing.
alligator.
Yeah, Gorn. It's amazing.
Cool. Well,
Okay,
we are out of time.
We are.
We are.
Okay, well,
Thank you so much for being in here
Thank
with
you.
us for so long.
This is
Woo!
a wonderful experience for me, and thank you for making it easy. Boom.
Peace out.
Guys, we'll be back soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
No.
Oh, thank you.
This is the second worst thing I've ever seen.
I hesitate to ask, what was the first?
Like and subscribe to Scotchbox VR and you'll find out.
Hey, Scotchbox, did you play the voice of V for Vendetta?
I'm afraid I did not. That was someone slightly more well known than I.
Your voice is spot on, man.
Oh, thank
Maybe
you.
that's why I keep thinking I've heard of you.
He does sound like the guy from
Like,
that film.
yeah, maybe that's it.
I did topple the British government, but that's another story.